I love going to, I think it's important to go to the beach, which I'm sure you guys are gonna do, but what's funny is living in LA, sometimes you forget that the ocean is that close. So definitely go to a few different beaches. Drive up the Pacific Coast Highway, which is the main road right there by the ocean. And I would go to downtown. The downtown area is really fun. Go to the Getty Museum, that's very fun. And just enjoy it. And any little day trips, you can kind of drive out to different little cities and wineries and stuff outside of Los Angeles, and it's kind of fun to see different parts of California as opposed to just LA. And I hope you guys enjoy it. That'll be really fun.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Hey Candice, and I wanted to ask if you could interview any celebrity, who would it be?
Well, I would say someone like Oprah, because that would be so cool, but I think she's the ultimate interviewer. So maybe like someone from like a reality show I love.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi. I don't want to torture you because I know you're not a big Caroline fan, but I just have to ask, what was your favorite scene shooting with Joseph? The originals or the Vampire Diaries?
I was lucky enough to film a little bit with the originals crew in New Orleans, and that was very fun. I never filmed on a street like that, especially in the French Quarter, where there's people running around and people, you can't tell if they're extras or if they're just partiers on vacation. And they were all kind of intermingled, and there was no controlling the environment. You just kind of had to film what you could, and people would be coming in and out of the shot. It was a crazy experience that I've never had before. So that was really fun.
Did you shoot with any other cast members apart from Joseph?
You have to watch.
Any spoilers for Caroline in episode 12?
I will just say that for the Caroline fans, I hope that you are happy with how Caroline and Klaus are talking with each other.
Talking. Just talking.
You just have to see. I don't want to give too many spoilers away, but I will say that yes, I filmed most of my scenes with Joseph Morgan.
Thank you.
Autograph time for Daniel, Phoebe, Nate, Michael, and Riley. All exclusive in Salvatore passes.
Hi Candice. So I saw that you went to Taylor Swift concerts, and I wanted to ask how was it, and what is your favorite song from Taylor?
It was very, very fun. I went with two girlfriends who both love Taylor Swift, and I'm like a late comer to becoming a Swiftie. I think that's what the fans call it, Swiftie. I like her new Delicate song a lot. That one's really cool. It was very fun though. She puts on a great concert.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, Phoebe. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I'm so nervous.
You're fine. I'm flattered. I'll be called Phoebe, absolutely. Goals.
I have a question for you. Which season did you prefer to shoot and why?
I probably shouldn't, but I feel like automatically I should say season 1 because we were all just so young and we were having so much fun, and we didn't have like our own dressing rooms. We all had trailers and we'd hang out outside of our trailers together. We were just young. It was all new and exciting and adventurous. But those were some hard, long days and nights filming wise. So for the sense of like hanging out and friendship, I'd say season 1, and then later seasons, because then we were more grown up and having more dinners together, and the days we knew what to expect when we would go to work. It wasn't a surprise to shoot all night and sleep in the day and film all night again, which was kind of a shock to the system that first season. It was kind of a well-oiled machine at that point. And but they were all great and different for different reasons.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I wanted
It depends on what you have to memorize. If it's it just depends. Sometimes it's really easy and sometimes it's really hard. After I had my baby, my brain didn't want to memorize words, so it was very, very hard to memorize anything, even just remember where I left my keys. Yeah, it just depends. It's kind of like, you know, I'm sure you have a favorite song and you know all the words to it by heart. You kind of find your ways of memorizing things. I like to see all the sights when I travel, and so there are a lot of times when I don't necessarily get recognized, and then sometimes I do, and for the most part everyone's always very, very friendly and respectful, and so it's not too bothersome. But usually if you're standing in front of, you know, the Eiffel Tower, people are looking at the Eiffel Tower. I'm not that interesting next to the Eiffel Tower.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi. I want to ask you to make Caroline's vampire face.
Oh, I don't even know what that is. I don't even know yeah, I never felt cool doing it. I was never good at it.
Please.
That's it. That's kind of like what I would do. Just especially with the teeth, and you can't really talk with them, and you have makeup that they have to do, and they're kind of more telling you what to do. So that's kind of it. Like, it's just this face, like, that's it. There's not much unless you're biting into something.
Okay.
Yep.
Will you sell your soul for me and make terrible things, kill people, torture them, or I will kill your loved ones? What would you choose?
So whether to kill all the people that I love or to...
Will you sell your soul, or you will get your loved ones killed?
I mean, I'm gonna have to say sell my soul, I guess. Let me have another cup of coffee and I'll think on that. Maybe a nice stiff glass of bourbon. No, we were actually talking about kind of the darker parts of mythology in one of the groups that we were all in the idea of being a vampire and you live forever, and that all the people you love will eventually die because they can't live forever if they're not vampires. So where does that leave you? And so yeah, and especially with the sirens, that's what I think is so attractive and alluring about the mythological fantasy entertainment world, is because you can have very dark questions like that and explore that. And so good luck with your book. That's a really fun, dark world to play in.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Favorite what?
Series? TV series?
Yes. I feel like I need to keep a list. I watch a lot of Netflix documentaries. I just watched The Stairs. I don't know if that's a thing over here. I'm watching The Handmaid's Tale. I'm watching America's Got Talent, which is a riveting thinker. It's just fun. I've got kids in the house, so there's only so much TV watching I can do that's dark and twisted like I like to watch. So I try to keep it light, try to keep it comedy, try to keep it young people and old people achieving their dreams, and you know, we've got a full house of kids, so we try to focus on that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi. So I'm a really big Miley Cyrus fan, and I was watching one of her old concerts, and I saw you as one of the background singers. How was it to be like on a Hannah Montana world tour?
It was very fun. If you can say no, you look very young, so I don't feel like this will be offensive, but how old are you?
I'm 17. I'm almost 18.
So I was on that tour when I was 19.
Oh.
Yeah, it was the dream. It was the coolest thing I had ever done. I started off in music, and things weren't going very well, and a producer that I'd worked with asked if I wanted to go on the road as a backup singer, and I was like, yeah, I desperately needed a job. And he was like, yeah, it's this girl from Disney, it should be fun. And I had no idea what I was getting into. I thought I was signing up for like a mall tour, you know. And then it ended up being one of the biggest selling out tours the biggest selling out tour that year, but in almost a decade, that's how big it was. And it was a blast, and I don't know Miley Cyrus personally at this point. At the time, she was, which is crazy, she was 14 and turned 15 on that tour. So you're older than she is. She was at that time. And she was an incredible performer. It's incredible what she was able to accomplish at that age, and so it's been fun to watch her career. But I only did the one tour, but it was life-changing. It was a blast. And then I married a musician, so I never had to stop going on tour.
Yeah, I was really shocked because your hair was all red, and at first I didn't recognize you, and I was like, what?
Oh,
and then
yeah.
I wanted to ask you how it felt.
It was very fun. Yeah, of course. Thank you.
And my question is, what did you apprehend about playing Caroline Forbes' place, since the character on the TV show is very different on the book?
No, I needed a job. This was a gift. It was an absolute gift, an absolute blessing that came along with hard work. I know that I 100% worked for that opportunity, but the luck that of timing, that the work and the opportunity kind of met in the middle, and I got this incredible opportunity to play Caroline Forbes. I auditioned very hard for that part, so there was not a moment where I questioned whether I wanted to do it or not. I hadn't read the book. I still haven't read the book, just because I also knew that they were changing a lot of things from the very beginning to kind of modernize it a little bit.
Yeah.
But I do love that that book was written before the Twilight series.
Yeah,
I do know that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I've asked some of the other actors this question as well. If you had to teach a class on something you know a lot about and are passionate about, what would it be?
Teach a class. If I had to make one up, I don't think I could teach math or English or biology or calculus. Maybe a class on like planning a trip. I really like planning trips. I also really like talking about feelings. So maybe a take on my own version of psychology, which I would create myself, you know. Yeah, maybe one of those, or like a class in reality TV shows.
And what are some things you would like to learn?
I know everything, so no. A lot. There's a lot of things I need to learn.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
So if you agree, I would like to maybe try to teach you.
Let's do it.
Okay. So, oi, ta,
Da,
na,
na,
gugent.
guget.
Yes.
Doi, nat, guget.
Almost. No, really good.
Hey.
Ta, na, gugent.
Ta, na, guget.
Very good.
Yay! Thanks. I got an A.
Yes.
Yes. A plus. See, I learned something new. There we go.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Hi Candice. I have no questions, but I just want to say thanks a lot because you are the reason my dream come true.
Well, thank you. It's been so lovely meeting you this weekend. Thank you so much for your kind words. Thank you. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If you could make your own story about Caroline, how would that go?
If I could make my own story about Caroline, I don't think I would. I think the writers did a really great job with her. I was always happy with the direction that they wrote that character. I liked that she was not perfect. She made mistakes, and I liked that she grew. I liked that she would apologize and, you know, for things that she did wrong. I liked that she would also not apologize for the things she knows she didn't do wrong. I liked that she was fun and bright, and she became a mom. She was a career woman. You know, the writers really wrote a growth and a well-rounded character. So I think I'd leave it the way that it is.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Candice. So A big scene of Caroline is when she sings for Matt, Eternal Flame. I was wondering if you could sing a bit of that song?
No. I'm retired.
Okay.
I'm a retired singer.
Is there a character on the show that you just can't stand? I mean, you just don't like this character?
I think, yeah, the only one I never really got was the original Silas. Correct me, I think it's like the Silas turned into, like, there was a Klaus element with the Silas. But I don't know, the original Silas, there was like a scary guy, and you could take on like the different, that was the one time when I kind of was like, I don't get this bad guy. Like I wanted to see his face, and then we didn't really see it, so that probably was the one bad guy that I was like, I wanted some, like, I liked other ones more than him. Like I liked the witch coming, I liked obviously the originals coming in, and Klaus. You know, even the history in the first season with like Catherine being the big bad, like I loved that. So yeah, I think we had some really good big bads. Thank you.
I just wanted to ask, what is the weirdest thing you have ever, what's ever happened to you with your fans or just in general?
Nothing crazy weird. I think I would say, like, sometimes just reminding people that I'm not Caroline and I didn't write the show. I got this question asked earlier, and just that there's sometimes that things were out of my control and I didn't make decisions and I didn't choose one relationship over another relationship. You know, I was just acting out the writer's story. So that's probably sometimes the funnier part, but for the most part, everyone's obviously like it's been so much fun this weekend, and everyone's just so kind. We were saying that in the back room just how polite everyone is, and asking like, hey, in this picture, do you mind? Like there's a wonderful politeness that was appreciated, and it's just kind of fun. I watch TV. You know, I get starstruck over people and actors, and I like being in LA and seeing them, and it's exciting. So I get that feeling 100%. So it's cool and weird sometimes to be on the other side of it, but I appreciate it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. I think they're normal relationships. I think it's the same. I think love to all. Yeah, I think we as people, we should all have marital rights if you want to get married and if you don't want to get married. I think it's more about being able to be legally married if that's what someone wants, as opposed to the gender of your partner.
Okay.
It should be, at least, yeah.
Thank you for the answer.
Thank you.
Hi, sorry. The music, the show always had really good music at Vampire Diaries. I was wondering if you could ever make suggestions, or did anything you suggested ever end up on the show?
No. We had a music supervisor named Chris Moliere, and he's good friends with everybody, and he's an amazing music supervisor. He also did Pretty Little Liars, for any Pretty Little Liars fans. So if you liked all the music in both those series, they came from the same mastermind. Yeah, he's awesome. So he rules. He's like at a concert every night and knows all the cool bands.
Can I ask a related one? Did they play music on set to help you guys with the scene? Or?
No, just to have fun. Yeah, just to make the day go by faster and smoother and happier.
Okay,
it was either music or soccer games or football. Football, yeah, we had a camera department who was very into football game, like the soccer football. Whenever I say football, I immediately think of the Americanized version of football, so I always have to correct myself.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Hello again. Caroline was with Damon, with Matt, with Tyler, with Stefan, yes, with Klaus, with Alaric. I ask you, Candice, if you have to choose one of them to be your partner in the real life, like what do you choose?
Please leave the auditorium in silence. Thank you.
I think Tyler and Caroline were cute. I always liked Caroline and Stefan together. I liked that the writers built that relationship up. I always said I understood that relationship more than I did Caroline and Klaus. So yeah. Thank you. I love your hair, by the way.
Hi, I wanted to know what other shows and concerts you would like to see.
The whole bunch of them. In LA, there's a place called the Hollywood Bowl, and it's an outdoor concert venue. You can bring snacks and picnics, and it's really, really fun. And they do these big movie nights where you sing along with the movie. And so later this summer, there's The Sound of Music, and so you have a picnic, and you go and you sing along with an entire sold-out arena to the Sound of Music movie. And it's really, really fun. And I haven't lived in LA for a long time, so I'm hoping to do stuff like that, things I used to do when I was younger.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Hello. I would like to know what's favorite scene of Caroline in Vampire Diaries? What is your favorite scene?
Oh, my favorite set?
Scene.
Scene.
Sorry.
Scene. Well, 8 years worth of scenes. That is pretty hard to choose just one. Always love the end of the pilot for Caroline when she's like, it's not a competition, and Caroline's, yes it is. That was the scene I auditioned with for the show. So that kind of made it feel real. So I guess that one.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I have kind of a personal question, so if you mind answering it, that's okay. I was wondering, because I love your daughter's name, if there's any meaning behind it for you and Joe, why you chose it, and if you want to share it, or wouldn't mind to share it.
No, we were engaged in Florence.
That's great. And the May part?
In the month of May.
Oh, that's so cute. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, I guess we're just in the topic. I just wanted to ask, how's motherhood going?
It's going good. It's going as motherhood goes. It's very fun. I'm very excited to be home to see her in a couple of days. So yeah.
She seems like a very cute little bunch of energy.
As 2.5-year-olds are, yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hi.
What's your favorite ice cream flavor?
My favorite ice cream flavor?
From your daughter.
She loves ice cream, but I'll talk about my favorite ice cream flavor. My favorite ice cream flavor, there's this really yummy, for the 2 women that are going to LA later, they might have left for an autograph session, but there's this place called Salt and Straw, and it's really delicious, and they have this lavender honey flavor that's really good. There's also my favorite ice cream in Atlanta was this fig honey, so I like trying different kinds of ice cream flavors right now. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We still have time for more questions for Candice, so if anybody has a question, come down.
Was my vampire face earlier too scary for everybody?
Yeah, everybody got scared of it.
I think I scared everyone off.
Question.
Hi, can you say German words?
I can say German words, but I don't know if I can say words in German.
Ich liebe dich.
Ich liebe dich? Ich liebe
dich.
Wait, what am I saying first? What am I, no, what's the meaning?
I love you.
Oh, okay, I can say that. I was like, hold on. Ich liebe dich.
Yes.
Yay,
Perfect.
here we go. Well, thank you. How do you say thank you again in German? Oh yeah, Dankeschön. There we go.
Hi again.
Hi.
You were talking about your new project yesterday, Collective Journeys, I think it is.
can you talk a little bit about how that came into being and what's your motivation behind it?
Yeah, it was again just kind of right timing and a great opportunity. I was hoping to get involved with a charity and had the opportunity to work with the jewelry company, and you know, they wanted to kind of do a fun bracelet line, and so we thought, well, why don't we combine these things? And then once I started looking for a singular charity, I realized that there were so many small charities just in my own community that I wanted to bring attention to. So basically every month we have a new bracelet, and a portion of the sales is donated directly to the charity that we are celebrating. And it comes in a box, and the box has like a really fun collage. It looks like a book, and you open the book, and then there's a fun collage all about that charity. So we can also teach people about what that charity is doing for the community. And I just wanted to show everyone that sometimes you don't have to, you know, save the world. Sometimes you can just look to your neighbor and make a bigger impact in your neighbor's life, and that is enough. Like, you know, and saving the world is enough, but like that sometimes you can just be kind to your neighbor. And there's so many people within your own community that need help. And so it's been really fun, because this has also given me an opportunity to meet local charities that I would have never met before and go and visit them. And our first one was for Harvest Home, which is a house that houses pregnant women while they're still pregnant, and then also for the first couple months after they've given birth. And it's women that are homeless and don't have anywhere else to go, and they kind of set them up and rehabilitate them into being able to go on to enjoy motherhood at a really emotional, stressful time. And Project Q is our June organization, and we started off just going around. They would give haircuts to homeless transgendered youth to help them feel more in touch with their identity. And so I just am constantly getting inspired. We have more charities we're going to continue to do and talk about later this year, but it's been such a joy getting to see people who are really using their time to give back to people that they're passing by in the street, and it's inspiring me a lot, and it's fun.
Any plans to design a bracelet yourself?
No, this is it. Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. I know, I stopped doing that a while ago. Yeah.
Somebody just asked that question a few minutes ago.
They did, I know, it's okay. But thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks for understanding. I just don't want to hurt anyone's ears. I'm trying to protect everyone. It's for your own safety. I already scared you with my vampire face. I'm not going to scare you with my rusty vocal pipes.
We still have a few more minutes, so if you guys have a question, come down. I'm going to ask one in the meantime. You've done many panels, I guess. What question have you wished somebody would have asked you that nobody has ever asked you?
Ooh, I'm trying to think. I feel like it's hard, because there's been a few of them where we've been like, ooh, that's a good question. I think it's always what I think a lot of us, I don't want to speak for anyone else, what I really enjoyed about working on a show like the Vampire Diaries was that they would do episodes that went back in time, and even though my character didn't do that, we still got to travel to a lot of sets that were from the 1800s, and you know, just the experience of being in Atlanta. I think it's always fun to talk about that, and the audition process is always fun. Anytime I think people get asked about that, and like what you left from work with, because everyone took something. We all have something that we took. So for you cons, what do people that go to conventions a lot? What do you call yourselves? Is there like a name, like, no? I feel like there would be like something, like, you know, like Caroline fans, like that's like a club. No? Whoa, I feel like you guys need to invent one now. Like there needs to be like, yeah.
I know for other cons there is like a name, like for the werewolf con it's like wolfies and stuff.
Oh, okay.
For this one yet.
All right, well for all the wolfies out there, and
Bloodies.
And Yeah, but that's always a fun thing. If the show's over, ask them like, what did you take? What does everyone have?
Hi, do you have any hidden talent?
I have no hidden talent. Just no talent at all, really. Yeah. It's all deeply, deeply hidden. No, I know. I should get one. I should keep one in my back pocket. I'm really good at drinking wine. But I don't know how hidden that is. Yeah.
Okay, but
Thank you.
I come up with lots of questions. One I stole from another panel. If you could be a ghost, who would you be and who you hunt?
Ooh, if I could be a ghost, who would I be? I think I'd be more like, I think I would want to be a ghost that you don't see, but who can just, because they're different, I feel like they're different ghosts. Like some people see ghosts, some people just feel them. I would want to be a totally hidden ghost. I would want to be a house ghost or an apartment ghost where like doors just shut randomly, and I don't want to be that annoying person that just like keeps opening that one cabinet in the kitchen.
Who will you hunt?
Who would I haunt? Probably someone that I love. You know, because I'd want to be around them. Like, I wouldn't want to be stuck with someone that I didn't like.
It would be a torture for them.
You
Michael
get
said
over
he would
it.
be wandering in a White House.
Ooh, that's a good one. Haunting the White House. Damn, that's a good answer. That's my new answer. I would haunt the White House. Or like a music venue. No, I would haunt like the Tabernacle in Atlanta or...
Daniel Gillies.
Is that what he said?
No.
Oh, yeah, no, I wouldn't haunt Daniel Gillies. But I would haunt like a music venue. Because then you're just chilling and unplugging a few things and listening to great music.
Okay, the second question. I really liked Caroline Without Humanity. She was a real bitch. Yeah, and who would you like to play? Caroline with or without her humanity?
Well, I obviously love playing Caroline with her humanity. I was fortunate enough to play Caroline with her humanity for a very long time. So as an actor, I really had fun playing her without her humanity. But it's all just really fun.
And did you like this last season with the Sirens? Because it was heartbreaking. June wedding this and Stefan dying.
It was all very dramatic, very dramatic. Yeah, it was great, you know, it was our final season. It's a lot of mythology to wrap up, and I think the writers knocked it out of the park. And Caroline still got to go on and pop into New Orleans, so she still kept it going.
She still had possibilities.
Yeah, always.
Thank you.
I want to be a therapist, a psychologist. I love therapy. I think it's great. I would be miserable teaching. I have so much respect for teachers because it's not even. They don't just teach our children, which is the most important. That's the most important job in the world, or bringing up the next generation. But I know how stretched thin teachers are with their time, and they go home and they have to, every time my daughters have schoolwork and it's just like, ugh, I'm like, yeah, but they have to grade it. So just know, those teachers are also have homework. Your homework is giving them more homework. So I could not respect teachers more for what they do and what they give of themselves to our kids. But so thank you for saying that. But I think I'd be like a therapist or like a restaurateur. I love to eat. I love restaurants. I know I would never be a good chef because I think I'm a good chef and I know I'm not. But I do like food and I know how to set a gathering.
To rate food range in restaurants.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
The last few minutes for Candice. If you have a question, picking up on what you were saying, you think you're a good, I'm just curious, you think you're a good cook, but you're not. Is there like a bad experience you had while cooking? That's why you say that?
No, I know. I'm a fine cook. I've gotten better. I have my staples. Now that I'm cooking for a family of 5, I feel like I'm definitely getting better. But I just know that like I'm not like a fancy cook. Like I feel like they're like, I have friends that are like super fancy when they cook, and I kind of stick to my simple recipes, but I love going to fancy restaurants.
Okay. That question. So you're coming just out of our question.
I just wanted to know if there's a country that you've always dreamed to visit and you hadn't the chance to yet.
Yes, I would love to go to Antarctica.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Candice King, everybody.